Hey everyone, this is Bonnie from Backward Story, and it is officially autumn. So happy autumn. I haven't talked to you guys since last season, since summer. And today I have my September haul for you with everything I purchased or was sent for review. And it's pretty early in the morning, so I'm still drinking my coffee. But the cup is really cute, and I thought I would show it off to you. Dear coffee, I love you, and I really love it right now. So, I thought that was a cute segue. I don't know. Maybe it was just in my head. This is everything I purchased in the first pile. I swear this pile should be bigger, and I have at least 4 or 5 books on the way, so maybe that's why I think it's bigger, because I spent more money than this. But it looks like I haven't spent a lot this month, although that's good. But I still did spend more than this. I'll talk about that more in a minute. And these 2 piles are what I was sent for review. The pile on the left is finished copies, and the pile on the right is for advanced reader copies for books that are not out yet. So let's take a look at everything. So for purchased books, I know that I am getting For a Muse of Fire by Heidi Heilig in, I want to say it's the LitJoy box. I saw an unboxing online, and the jacket was gorgeous when you flipped it inside out, and I had been about to buy the book, and I decided to email them and say, hey, do you still have copies of that really pretty book left? And they did, so I decided to get it that way instead. So that's on the way to me. I ordered Wild Card by Marie Lu from the UK because last year I got Warcross through the UK because it was a rainbow cover when you took the jacket off, so that is on the way. I ordered Vengeful by V.E. Schwab with stained pages from Fox and Wit, so that's on the way. My store didn't have Sisters of the Winter Wood by Rena Rosner this week, so I have to go back and pick that up. And that's just off the top of my head, so that's stuff that I know is coming. I feel like there might be 1 or 2 books that didn't make the pile or are still on the way. I don't know, it's early and the caffeine is still kicking in, so this is what I have for now. The rest of the stuff that's coming in the mail will just officially be in my October haul, even though I purchased it for September. So there's that to look forward to if you want to actually see them up close and personal.
I did order some books from Book Outlet this month, and this is my haul for that. I'm not going to go over them in detail because I do have a video just for that I'm going to be posting soon. But you can see it at a glance if you want a little bit of a sneak peek now. In editing, I realize this video is insanely long. I'm really sorry for that. Let me know if you prefer it this way, where I'm talking a little bit about each book, or if you'd rather just see the books and have it be a shorter video, because I do yak about the books a lot this time around.
I purchased and have already read As She Ascends by Jodi Meadows, which is the sequel to Before She Ignites. Okay, so, you guys, if you like Six of Crows, you're gonna like this book. The first book doesn't compare closely to it, and in fact, she's in prison for most of the book, so it's a little slower in that regard. But the rest of the series is action-packed, and As She Ascends reminds me of Royal Bastards in the same way that Royal Bastards reminded me of Six of Crows. So if you like Six of Crows, if you liked Royal Bastards, you're gonna like this too. It has the same emotional core to it, and I was really satisfied when I finished reading this one. And I'm really excited for the final one next year. Plus, I just love Jodi Meadows. I think she's so underrated. I think some of her books have slow starts, and so readers don't take the time to get invested in them, and the fantasy doesn't really come into play until later in the series a lot of the time. So if you just stick with it, the fantasy does come out, and then it explodes, and her books are so good. My favorite by her is the Orphan Queen duology, and it's only 2 books. Her other 2 books are both trilogies. And I really like everything she does, and I will continue to follow her and read her for as long as I like her books, which hopefully is for a long while. Two Dark Reigns by Kendari Blake, which is a quartet. This is the 3rd book in the series, even though it has 2 in the title. The first book had 1, the second book had 3, this one has 2, so who knows what the 4th book will have in the title. And I can't talk too much about the series because I haven't actually read it yet. I met Kendari Blake on tour when she was with Lauren Oliver and Melissa De La Cruz for the first book, 3 Dark Crowns. And I asked her about cliffhangers because sometimes I like to wait. And so she said, you know, you may want to wait till the 2nd book. So I took that to mean there's probably a pretty bad cliffhanger. And then she decided that it was going to be 4 books instead of 2. And she did say you could read the first 2 and it wasn't going to have that same type of cliffhanger the first one did. So I would assume this one does for the next one. I just never got around to reading the first 2. And at this point, I'm just going to wait until next year and then just read all 4 books. So it's really hard to stay away from spoilers, though. This book is talked about a lot online. This is the Owlcrate exclusive copy of Mirage, and it has the most beautiful end papers. And then this is an Owlcrate exclusive too.
And that is by Samoya Dodd. And I'm sure I pronounced her name wrong, so I apologize for butchering your name. But it's super pretty.
This is one I got at BEA and just haven't had time to read, so hopefully I'll get to it soon. Next we have Give the Dark My Love by Beth Revis, which just came out this week. And, ooh, since you're all book lovers, my coworker recently went to New York and stayed at the Library Hotel, and every floor has a different coding in the Dewey Decimal System, and every room on that floor has books from that category, and there are even ARCs that are provided by, I think she said Simon & Schuster, that you can take home with you. So it's just really cool if you're ever going to New York. She said it's a little expensive, but it's definitely worth it. So there's some information you can stop and take a look at if you'd like. But it sounded really cool, so that just happens to be in the book. But yeah, I'm really excited for something new from Beth. I have been reading her since the very beginning. I had an arc of her debut novel, Across the Universe, and I think it was one of the very first arcs I ever had ever, and it was also the first time I ever won anything from Goodreads, so I've been reading her for a long time, and she hasn't had anything out in a while, so I'm very excited to read this. This is, I think, the 6th book that she's published now. And then An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. This is his debut novel. Hank Green is the brother of John Green, who wrote The Fault in Our Stars and Paper Towns and Looking for Alaska. I got the Barnes & Noble Book Club edition, which has extra stuff in it. Ooh, I don't think I actually opened this book up this week when I bought it. Look at this. The cities are made with letters. Always. Okay, I want to read this in a little bit. Knowing something is a bad idea doesn't always erase. Why can't I make out this bottom? I'm going to look at this later, not through a camera lens, because it's driving me nuts right now. Oh, you have a little Carl here. I have a bookmark somewhere from BEA with the Carls. And the best thing about this version is it's autographed. And there's a little Carl there, too. So I'm excited to read this, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Barnes & Noble's doing a big book club on it next month, and a lot of people are just really excited for this book, so I figured I'd give it a chance, especially since it was an autographed copy. What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. They are both best-selling authors, and this is their first collaboration. This is a book everybody has been really excited about. This book doesn't actually come out until October 9th, so this is actually an early hardcover copy of it, but it's coming out really soon, and I'm excited to read it and talk about it more with you next month. Or possibly this month now, because by the time you're watching this, it's October, so. And this is from HarperCollins Epic Reads. Ooh, look at the pigeons on the back. You got the New York City skyscape here, too. Damsel by Elena K. Arnold is also from HarperCollins, and it comes out October 2nd, which is this week. By the time you've seen this, it's probably already out. And the cover's so pretty. This is one I've been really excited to read, so I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. Finally, from HarperCollins Epic Reads, which also doesn't come out until October 2nd, so it's probably out now. The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. This is a sequel to Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, which came out last year. And I still have to read that, so it may be a little while before I can get to this one, but everybody's been buzzing about it. Ooh, look at that spine. Ooh, what does the spine look like? Ooh, that's fun. I love when there are pretty spines. Look at the little guns in the boat. I like that. But yeah, everybody's been talking about this, so I'm definitely excited to get to it, but since I have to read the first book first, it may be a little while, unfortunately. A Heart in a Body in the World by Deb Coletti. This just came out this past week, I think. Ooh, that's pretty too. I actually haven't looked too closely at the design for this yet, but I'm already obsessed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this just came out this week. This is a book that I had never heard about until BEA this year, and there was a huge poster in the lobby of the Javits Center when we were waiting to get into the venue. And I just was really taken back by this cover that has a face that's also snow, and she's running, but yeah, I was really taken back by this cover, and I'm really excited that I was sent a review copy and that I'll be able to read it and talk to you guys about it soon. I have to take the sticker off that too. I'm a little nervous to take Simon & Schuster stickers off because usually I'm afraid of wrecking the book, which I actually did with this one. It's like permanently on my book now. The Royal Runaway by Lindsay Emery. This comes out in paperback on October 9th, and it's from Simon & Schuster Gallery. And this is one that I actually received an ARC of earlier this year, and I started reading it, and I was on my way out to go somewhere, so I brought it with me and started reading it a little bit, and then I never really got back to it because I didn't have time to be reading it, so it's one that I definitely am intrigued to continue. Victoria Shade, I'm not sure. Life on the Leash Again, I have to take the sticker off. She works with dogs for a living, and so a lot of this is based on her knowledge. This is another one I had an arc of that I didn't get a chance to read, and it sounds really cute. And this one came out this past week from Simon & Schuster Gallery. And I have one more straight to paperback from Simon & Schuster Gallery. It is called Trouble Brewing. It's by Suzanne Bolster. It's another one I had never heard of. It sounds really cute. It just came out this past week, so it's in stores now. So this is one that just sounds like something I can read this fall when I'm looking for something that doesn't require a lot, which, you know, right now, I think a lot of us need that. So, You Are the Everything by Karen Rivers. This, I thought it was a kid's book at first, but I'm pretty sure it's actually a teen book. It is from Algonquin, and Algonquin publishes both kids and teen books. So it could be either, but I do think it's teen by the summary. It has really cute end papers too. This one comes out October 30th. Another one that just came out this past week, Transcription by Kate Atkinson, and I read her, oh gosh, I haven't read her last book or two, but I did read her first 3 or 4 books that came out. I have been meaning to pick her up and read her again, so I'm actually really grateful for the opportunity and thank Little Brown for sending me a copy to review. Oh, she's a radio producer at the BBC. That's interesting. This sounds good. I'll definitely be reading this one soon and talking to you about it as well. Okay, this one doesn't come out for a while. It comes out November 6th from Disney Hyperion Books. So I'm going to be putting together a holiday gift guide late November, early December, and I'm going to have a lot of stuff on it, and this is probably going to be one I'm covering then. It's called She Did It, 21 Women Who Changed the Way We Think. It's by Caldecott Medal winner Emily Arnold McCulley, and it's really pretty. I'm actually going to also do a video review with the design of the book. Look at this. How cool is that? I think a lot of people are going to want it just for Instagram pictures. So much more than that too, but you know what I mean. But here's a quick glimpse now. So this is definitely something I'm going to go over in a lot more detail in November or December or both. It smells really inky. I'll probably do a video review of the book itself in November and then do the wrap-up in December. But again, that's kind of far out from now because it's only September, soon to be October. So I still have a couple months to decide on that, but this is definitely one that's going to be great for classrooms and for students, and I'm excited to dive in and see what I learn as well. Alright, galleys, I was so excited to get Archenemies by Marissa Meyer, and you may have already seen my video of it. It came with a tote bag and this really cool holographic card where they change from their human form to their superhero form. And I'm so excited to read this. I'm hoping to actually get to it this week. If I start reading fast again, I've been reading very slowly. It's taken me a week or two to read one book right now just because of a lot of stuff going on in my life and in my family's life. And I do want to do a Throne of Glass reread in October, so if it starts getting too close and I don't think I'll be able to finish them before the new book comes out, I'm going to kind of stop what I'm working on and start reading those, but I'm really hoping I can get to this. I'm just afraid if I don't read it this coming week, then I'm not going to read it until after it's out, and then what's the point of an arc, you know? So we're going to see, but I'm super excited for this. It is like one of my most highly anticipated books of the whole year. It's killing me that it's sitting here and I can't start reading it right this second, so I really want to get to it. It also has this really lovely letter in it, which I'm actually just seeing now. So I did a video of my unboxing of this, but I didn't show you the letter because I thought it was a publisher's letter. And, you know, I don't like putting their contact information up on video, so I didn't realize that wasn't what this was. So you can pause and read that. I'm definitely going to take a look at it myself as soon as I'm done with this video. This comes out November 6th, November 8th? Whatever that Tuesday is. That's what I was looking for when I found this. I was looking for the exact publication date because it just says November down the side. But this is from Macmillan, and I'm really excited for it. It's definitely the first week of November it comes out. This is from Simon & Schuster Gallery. It is coming out on December 4th, and it is My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren, which the authors are best friends, Christina and Lauren, and they write together, and they have a lot of rom-com books, and I've read quite a few of them now, like 4 or 5 of their books, and some of them I like more than others. I wasn't a huge fan of the one that just came out personally, but I really liked the last couple before that. I know other people who weren't as big of a fan of the last couple and really loved the last one, so I think it's very hit or miss. I think roomies and dating Hating You are definitely my favorites by them so far. And this one sounds cute, and I'm actually really excited to pick it up and read it. And I feel like it's something I might read sooner rather than later because it's very light, or not light, but not heavy or super intense on the world building, and it doesn't require as much thinking from me. And sometimes that's what I need, like right now, that might be good. So this is something that I definitely want to pick up soon when I just am in that kind of mood and just want to pick up something and just read it. Their books just always put me in such a good mood, and they're uplifting, and they can really change my attitude. So this is definitely the type of book that I save for like when I need a moment like that, if that makes sense. That's more what I mean, I think, when I say that. Just, they're good mood boosters, This is another book I'm so excited for. It just came in the mail, You'd Be Mine by Erin Hahn, and this is coming out in April, I think. April 2nd. Yes, it actually says it right there in the corner. As soon as I saw it online, I knew it was a book I wanted to read because it gave me throwbacks to Open Road Summer by Emery Lord, which I loved. It's one of my favorite teen contemporary books. I really like the cover for this one, and this is one that, like the Christina Lauren one, I just want to read when I'm in a mood to feel good. And I just feel like this is going to be such a cute book, and I'm really excited to read it. And that's from Wednesday Books. Wednesday Books also just sent me another copy of The Gilded Wills by Roshani Choksi, which is coming out
January 15th.
And I am so excited to read this. You've already heard me talk about it. I've already posted about it on Instagram. But I am so excited for this book. It's the first in a new series. I love everything she's written. I love her Star-Touched Queen series. I love Arrow Shaw, and I'm so excited for the second book in that series. And I am so excited to start this series with her. And the cover is so pretty, and you can't feel it, obviously. Oh, you can kind of see it, though. It's got the embedding in the back of it, which means that it's raised in the front. This book is going to be really, really pretty, guys. I can't wait for it to come out. This is from Tor. It's called City of Broken Magic by Mira Bolander. If it's magic, which wire do you cut? This one doesn't have an exact date on it, but it's coming in November. And it is a new twist on the Hurt Locker, and it is a fantasy with a bomb squad, and they defuse magic weapons. And that just sounds so different and cool and not quite like anything I've read before. So I was like, oh yeah, I want to read that as soon as I heard about it. This is another one coming out this week, Broken Things by Lauren Oliver. We thought it was just a story until it came true. And this is more in line with Vanishing Girls by her, so it's a little more contemporary and thriller in tone than it is fantasy or dystopian or sci-fi in tone. And it says that it is for fans of The Girl on the Train, One of Us is Lying, Big Little Lies, that it sounds like something that if you like We Were Liars, you would like that. And this is a book that I pre-ordered from Barnes & Noble because they have autographed copies. So this is one that I'm going to be getting in the mail within the next week or so. And that's from Harper Teen. Also from Harper Teen, we have The Antidote, which is by Shelley Sakier, and it comes out February 5th. It keeps flipping up. It's like, I don't know, something happened to its cover. And it's from the author of The Freemason's Daughter, and it's perfect for fans of Everlist. And this is one that I just heard about recently online, and it sounded interesting. It's this world where magic is not legal. I think it's illegal. It might be a little more than that. I'm trying to remember what the summary was that I saw online. But the crown prince is sick and she can save him, but it's going to come at a cost to her, and it's going to reveal her secret. So it sounds really interesting, and I'm definitely excited to review this in the new year for you. The Fever King by Victoria Lee. This comes out on March 1st from Skyscape and Amazon Publishing. This is a book I hadn't heard much about until it came in the mail, but it sounds really interesting. It's another book that integrates magic and technology the way the one I just showed you from Tor does, and I think that's a really interesting concept. I know it's been done before, but I don't read that many books that do it, so to have a couple of them that sound interesting, I'm excited to dive more into this genre because I feel like there's so much more room to go in fantasy, and there's so much out there than what I've been exposed to in the past. Next up, we have Kirsten White's The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, which just came out this week. And it again has that really cool embossing. And when that much money goes into galleys, you know the finished copy is going to be beautiful, and it's really pretty in person. I saw it the other day. This is a book that I'm not sure if I'm going to want to pick it up and read it or not. It's a little darker than things I normally read. I can be a little squeamish, and I don't know how gory it's going to get, so I'm kind of waiting to hear feedback before I decide if I'm going to dive into this one or not. So I have it so I can at least give it a try, so I am thankful for that, and I know people who really like it and have been looking forward to it. I don't think it's a series. I think it's a standalone, but I could be wrong about that. But that just came out this past week. Next up, we have The Afterwards by A.F. Harold with illustrations from Emily Gravitt, and they did The Imaginary last year. This is from Bloomsbury. It's coming out March 19th. Here's a little bit about it. It's been recommended for fans of Neil Gaiman and Roald Dahl. And it's going to have really lovely illustrations. They're in black and white in the galley, but they are going to be color in the finished version. And they did give us a small sample of how the color pages are going to look in the end. And it kind of has the quality to it that books like Mercy Watson by Kate DiCamillo have, with the way that they're interspersed and the wording on the page. And then you also have these really cool passages that aren't uniformly designed, and I think it's just really going to appeal to kids, and I'm excited to read it myself. And our last 3 books are all from Macmillan from their middle grade and picture book department. First, we have The Library of Ever by Zeno Alexander. It comes out April 30th, and it's just got a really cute cover. And I love the concept, and I love books about books and bookstores and libraries, and this is about a library, and so I'm really excited to read this, and it looks really cute. I'm excited to talk about it next year with you guys. Maybe a Mermaid by Josephine Cameron. This one comes out April 2nd. And it has that kind of magical realism to it that, what was that book that just came out this month? Mrs. Hancock and the Mermaid, something like that. It feels like it's got that to it because you don't really know if it's a mermaid or not a mermaid, and maybe you'll find out as you read, or maybe you won't. Maybe it'll be magic realism, maybe it'll be fantasy, and you just don't know as a reader going into it what you're going to find, and you're excited to find out. So, Moby's a sucker for books about mermaids, and I'll pick them up, and I think it's really interesting the way things are trending with magic realism right now, so I'm excited to find out more and talk about this with you next year. And the last book I have for review is also about mermaids. It is Mermaids Fast Asleep by Robin Riding with illustrations by Zoe Persico. And this is another April release. And I'll show you briefly. This is how the end papers are going to look. So pretty. Here's your summary. And I'm excited to go over this in more detail with you next year. Look at the colors. Look at this watercolor to it. Just look at this. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to show you more about this next year. It's really, really pretty, and I already love it. So that is everything I received or purchased this month. It was, as always, quite a lot. I had a manageable spending limit, I thought, this month, even though I didn't get all of the books in time to film this video, because I still have 4 or 5 books on the way. I think that it was pretty manageable. I didn't have too many subscription boxes this month, and the ones that I didn't have books in them. I mean, I still feel overwhelmed with books. I got a ton of stuff this month, but I don't feel quite as overwhelmed as I do some months, and I thought that it would be really bad because September is always a huge month for releases, and there was so much that I wanted to buy. Like this past week alone, there were 5 books that I needed to purchase. I wound up purchasing one because I had ordered 3 online, which I talked about earlier, and the other one wasn't in stock. But that was 5 books on my wallet, but that was like the biggest spend week of the month, and everything else was a little more moderated than that. And so I'm pretty proud of that, and for really just limiting what I'm trying to buy this year and not just buying as much as I have in the past. So I've been pretty proud of how I've done most of the year, and I knew September and October would be like 2 of the biggest months outside of April and May. So I think I did pretty good. I'm excited to see what you purchased this month. I'm excited to see what you got from publishers if you review books, and I'm excited to see which books you are looking forward to. Definitely let me know below if there's anything that I got that you are excited about, or that you've read already, or that you're planning to read soon. Maybe we can read it together, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.